Metro Bicycles H1, let me introduce you to possibly the best bike deal I can recall in recent memory. Sold by a company KevCentral viewers will know well, mendhambikes. If you're unfamiliar, mendhambikes is backed by Kent Bikes and offers great deals at outstanding prices. There's a running 5% coupon code KevCentral that makes their deals even better, but for this H1, there's something special for it. I handpicked it out of their entire inventory because how this is equipped, well, this deal here, normally $449.99. They have it marked down to $199.99, but there's a special deal just for KevCentral viewers. It's going to make it an even better value. Let me show you just how much of a deal this is. First, I want to state, if you add it to your cart, you're going to notice that $199.99 somehow becomes $221.01. That's because the cart defaults to include shipping insurance. And given the low prices involved here, I think it's probably worth it for most. But if you're pinching pennies, there's a toggle. Now that we're down to $199.99, let's go further into this checkout because there's going to be a box off to the right, or if you're on your phone, you might have to scroll down. But on a desktop, it's off to the right. There's a special coupon code here. METROKEV, METROKEV, apply that and look what it does. $180. Keep in mind, this is bike shop caliber stuff we're dealing with here, and the components are going to tip that off. They're definitely not what you think when you think sub $200 bike. So let's just dig right in and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about with the component rundown starting up top. At the bars, this is a commuter bike, so 620 millimeters wide, the diameter 31.8, just like most of the mountain bikes I ride. I didn't measure this stem, but I can tell you it keeps things tied up top with a nice urban feel. Bar complements, this is urban, so there's not a lot up here, but it starts with these grips, and these are blocky. They're kind of comfort grips, but this blocky look, I've never seen this, and I actually like these. When we're talking under $200, that almost always means plastic brake levers, but the H1 has metal levers for the mechanical disc brakes. You might also notice there's no shifter on the left. This is a single chainring that tips off the 1x setup for this bike. That means only one shifter, and it's a micro shift trigger shifter, dual thumb lever type with a view window. Now this is a commuter bike, but I also think mountain bikers are going to glance at this and think, I could feel at home on that, as will of course urban riders. Moving down, we have a straight steer head tube. That's fine on a commuter bike. The head tube badging, like the Metro names, just stylish. Let's talk forks, because they could have went with a half-baked suspension fork on this, but they went with an aluminum rigid fork. Fork arms look like blades that are super sleek. I mean, this looks like what you see on speedy road bikes with the tapering flare design. It's aggressive. This is a good shot to tell you exactly what I'm talking about. And the graphics here, these chevrons, we're going to go into these because it's kind of a running theme on the bike, but they're sleek, especially on the fork. They make it look fast. And it has some nice construction details like the fender mount being a shaft. It's not just a hole on the front and the back. It's these little things that add up, and this is what differentiates budget bikes from a bike that just happens to be budget but is also a good bike like this. That's a quick release on the front wheel, and these are Joytech hubs. I've seen the same hubs on $500 bikes. The wheels, double wall alloy rims, are wrapped with street and gravel friendly tires. I call this aggressive urban tread. Tire size 700 by 40C. It's pretty obvious the front end of this bike built well above the $180 selling price with coupon code METROKEV. So let's go to the drivetrain, so surely they made up the difference there, right? Well, maybe on these pedals. They're nothing fancy, metal cage with reflectors. The crank arms, those are Pro Wheel. Forged Pro Wheel, 170 millimeters. I've used these on mountain bikes. They're tough. Bottom bracket, standard stuff, 68 millimeters, square taper. The single chain ring, a little surprising in that it's large. This is a 38 tooth. Let's follow this KMC chain to the derailleur where we see another microshift product, a microshift mezzo derailleur. I'm familiar with these. They're a good fit for a commuter, even an entry-level gravel bike. That mezzo shifts through 8 speeds that, admit it, you thought this was going to be a freewheel, but no, this is actually an 8-speed cassette. Yeah, a cassette. For under $200, $180 if you use the coupon code METROKEV. Not a super wide range, 11 to 34 tooth, but usable and upgradable. And for those of you I know are already looking at this frame with mountain bike aspirations, there's a bit of room to venture up a bit with tire sizing. And like the front, the rear hub Joytech, the rear spacing 135 millimeters, it also has a quick release for the rear wheel on a bike under $200. Those brakes, I said were mechanical, they're not generic. These are the same Tektro mechanical disc brakes I've seen on some entry-level mountain bikes at bike shops. Right down to the rotors, 160 millimeters front and rear, Tetra rotors matching the brake system. That means consistent stopping power. The seat post is alloy. Its diameter is 27.2 millimeter, the length 350 millimeters. And perched on top of it is a saddle, and as far as factory saddles go, I guess this is street sleek with padding. And it has a nice single bolt rail clamp. Like the front, the rear also has mount points for a rack befitting a commuter. Cage bosses built into the down tube, only one set. This bike is stylish. Black with white trim. Aside from the Metro bicycles and the H1 branding, the accents are chevrons and stripes, which remind me a lot of World War II aircraft. It's a super cool look and a stylish frame. Other than the round seat tube, almost everything is a triangle or a sweeping point. Now there is a hump on the top tube. Normally I don't like that, but this one's subtle and I think works. Cable routing follows current trends, meaning some of it's internal, some of it is external. It adds to the clean lines of this modern 6061 aluminum frame. This particular frame, a medium, which I measured at 18 inches. Let me go back to this hybrid routing for a second. If you don't know what I'm talking about here, just know it makes upgrading easier for things like brakes. From the ground up, this is the bike that even at $450 would have been a good value a couple of years ago. At the current $180 with coupon code, it's an amazing value. But does it ride well? Well, of course it does. Every bike I've covered from Mendhambikes has been a pleasure to ride. This one is too. A rigid aluminum fork's definitely going to keep me on the streets with it, but I have no complaints, and I would never guess this bike was as good as it is at such a low price. And I assembled this out of the box and didn't adjust anything. Now, your mileage may vary here, but for me it shifted through every gear and rode straight and true from the start. I don't have all the geometry specs, but I can tell you it's easy to maneuver, which is important for daily commuters. Gearing makes it fast enough on the top end, and on the low end, easy enough to traverse most hills without much struggle. A wider range cassette would open it up even more, but as is, I can ride it up all but the steepest hills. I mean, I could ride this up steep hills, but I'm thinking the commuter, ride something every day and be comfortable. And those Tektro disc brakes give it enough bite for rapid stopping as needed. Stylish and comfortable ease is not a combo I think of when I'm thinking bikes for under $200 delivered to my door, but that's the reality for this bike that you too can pick up for only $180 while supplies last using the coupon code METROKEV. This is a good bike and a looker. A special thanks to Mendhambikes for setting up this deal for us. Now, I do earn a small commission from the use of that code, but these are my opinions and my experiences on this bike. It's all 100% genuine. In fact, I'm so impressed by this. Normally, I donate review bikes, but in this case, I'm probably going to donate the value of this bike and hang on to this one for a while. I'm that impressed. And stay tuned, I have other deals from Mendhambikes coming up. And don't forget, coupon code METROKEV for this bike, or KevCentral as a coupon code, for 5% off any other bike on their site. With holidays upon us, this deal probably won't last long, any of the deals I'm about to share with you, so you might want to act fast if you're interested. Either way, drop a comment below and let me hear your thoughts on this Metro Bicycles H1. Thanks for watching and have a great day.